All right, man. Congratulations, Stipe Miocic. He wins the trilogy over Daniel Cormier. I thought Stipe Miocic would win the fight to begin with. I just thought the first fight was kind of a fluke with DC knocking him out. Then the second fight seemed to be more of a trend with Miocic getting the win. Now, this fight, I believe that DC won the first round. Miocic won the second. I think the third round, Miocic won. And then the fourth round, and, I think it probably was Stipe, and then the fifth round could have been Stipe as well, too, if my memory serves me correctly. But make sure that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, check out our MMA playlist. But they had a 46-49, 49-46, 49-46, 48-47. 48-47 was more on my scorecard, I believe it was. I think the second round was a swing round. I think DC did enough to win the first round. I won't say it was the most convincingly win of a round, but the second round, it could have went either way, but I just think Miocic at the end of that round, he had DC fumbling all over the place. Third round, DC usually take it off. He basically took it off. And the fourth and the fifth, I gave it to Miocic, if I remember serves me correctly. After the eye poke, DC said he couldn't see none. His eye was messed up really, really bad, so hopefully he regains vision in his eye. But it was a really good fight. They showed good chins. Miocic took some good shots. He gave some good hooks. DC gave some good jabs and good right hands. He took some, and, obviously they was throwing hands, and, the kicks were, it wasn't no real devastating kicks there. I just think the kicks were there to keep guys honest. It was a fade there, and DC trying to really cut the distance off, and, it was a little bit wrestling in the first round, but it was just pretty much a hands and foot match. They kind of, tied up and clinched on the cage and stuff of that nature, but these dudes, they was throwing hands and they showed tremendous jaws. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about chins, both of these dudes had a chin. Stipe was rocked. He came back. Rocked DC. He was rocked. He came back. Rocked Stipe. I mean, it was a really good fight, man. And that was a real hands and feet battle, man. DC really couldn't take it to his world into the ground. And Stipe did a lot of good things about regaining his position and not letting it turn into a wrestling match and standing up. Stipe just had the better juice. He had better stamina. That's just what it boiled down to. He was a fresher fighter after 3. Going to 4, he was a fresh fighter. Going to 5, he seemed to be fresher. DC kind of was carrying a little bit of luggage a little bit, and he was a little tired, but you couldn't really tell if that was the eye poke or was it the stamina. But Miocic is, the heavyweight champion. I can't really disagree with it. I think it could have went the other way as well too, because I think DC won the first. I think you could have made a case for him winning the second. I think Stipe won the third, and in the fifth, I think Stipe won as well too. So it could have went the other way, but I think with Miocic kind of staying in the sport, they could continue to make money off him and that Cleveland brand that he representing, and DC would have had to come out there and get a knockout to win. You know what I'm saying? Because they wasn't gonna let him walk away with the title and then vacate it. But he said if he would be fighting for championships and or defending his belt, he would come back. But he said he done. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for combat sportsmen to say they done. But it was a good fight, man. It was the best fight tonight. It was a few boxing fights on the night. But they threw down. They showed tremendous chins. They showed the heart of warriors. There wasn't a lot of grappling. So if you're not into the grappling and the wrestling, it was limited grappling and wrestling. If you go back and watch the fight, it was a hands and feet fight. It's a little bit grabbing on the cage, but like I say, first went to DC, the second went to Stipe. You could have made a case for DC as well, but he had him floundering around that second round on the cage. The third, I went to Stipe. The fourth, I think I gave it to Stipe, and the fifth, I gave it to Stipe. So I think the right man won. I think he could have made the case for DC, but he showed a tremendous chin, tremendous grit, fighting with one eye after being poked. I think it was a really good fight. Let me know what you guys thought. I enjoyed it. I'm not the hard or the purest UFC fan, but I'm learning to enjoy the sport, so bear with me. But I thought Miocic kind of edged it out. But you could have made a case for Cormier as well, too. So it was a really good fight. Too bad they won't do it over again. And I wouldn't fight that guy a fourth time if I'm Stipe as well. So check out my MMA playlist. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also have a Facebook group. All the links in the description. Want to make a donation? Cash App, PayPal description. Best way to donate personally is to share the video. Let me know what you guys thought about UFC 252 and the overall card in the main event. Congratulations to Stipe for being heavyweight champion once again. One time for the one.